Let's see how this is going today. YouTube has taken us off our normal classic view and taken us into beta for live, so I am making sure everything's set up. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Yay! Just waiting for a couple of people to come in and we will get started. Can you see everything, Louise? Can you see the credits and everything going? Good morning, good morning. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Hopefully you can see the overhead cam, Louise. If you could give me a comment on that, because I'm showing on one thing that I do have it and on one that I don't. Okay, great. Yay. I don't know why my YouTube, I guess it's because it's in beta. I'll have to send feedback because I'm not getting a preview window in the beta and I can't see where to go back to classic now. So anyway, and it threw off my design space window, so let me fix that real quick and then we'll get started because it's Mother's Day weekend and I don't want to tie you guys up any more than I have to. Almost, there we go. All right. And there's probably not going to be many people here being that it's Mother's Day weekend, and that's okay because they'll watch it on the playback. We are going to, you guys should have the file on for the card and for the faceted box on Crafting with April on the exclusives tab. It should be there, and all you have to do is cut it, and I'm going to show you guys how to put it together. As usual, if you have any questions, just ask them, and we'll answer them and get those answers for you so that you can continue on your projects. Okay, and I've been busy the last couple of days. I made a box set of sympathy cards for my vet and envelopes. Got those done yesterday. And I made a mock-up of what we're doing today. This is the faceted box where the corners of the box also are faceted. So we're going to be making that and the Mother's Day shaker card. I didn't put anything on the inside of mine since my mother is no longer with us, but I made it in her memory anyway. She would have loved it. So let's go ahead and get started. And I did use some inks and stuff, and I was thinking about maybe using some flakes on this one, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and start with the card. And I've got my sponge daubers and all my mess here. I'm just going to set that probably out of view for you guys, but I'll bring it back here in just a moment. Got some glue on my shaker window. I must have had something on my mat. Didn't get it clean good enough. Okay. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Kathy. That's okay. You guys can watch on the playback if you need to. I know it's Mother's Day weekend, so I'm going to kind of rush and get you guys out the door so that you can get on with any festivities you have planned. And let's just set the box out of the way for a moment. As for your card, of course, you're just going to cut it and fold it for all you guys that are new on the score line. I'm going to use my bone folder and give it a good crease. And then you have your shaker panel, which is, I cut mine out of the hearts. This is the, this is Basil cardstock, guys, and this is in the quartz color, this pink. And then this is the cotton candy foil with the hearts on it. And then the other is the cotton candy plaid, in case you want that. And I did get it at Joann's. So, first thing I'm going to do, and you can do this either way. You can put your shaker together and then you can put it on your card, whatever works best for you. And I'm just going to place that piece down because that is the back of my shaker. I'm using a shaker kit, but if you're not using a shaker kit, all you're going to do is take your transparency and put your foam tape on it, and then you're going to peel and stick. Now, if you want, you can put another piece of transparency over it and then put your tapes on there on both sides and stick it that way. Whatever is easiest for you. And I'm just going to throw some of my shaker material. I'm using a little bit different one on this one. Use some of these hearts that I have. These are from Doris, and you can get them at your local craft store. And then I'm just going to peel away my shaker elements. They are taped there. And I'm just going to place it right over the top. How easy is that? And now I have shakers. Again, if you're not comfortable doing it that way, peel it, put your piece of plastic on there, and then you can put tape along the top like I'm about to do to this one. You'll just do it to both sides. And I'm just using some tearing tape since this is plastic. I'm just putting it right over the top of where my foam is through that plastic. Shaker cards are really easy. A lot of people do find them intimidating, so I thought that I would show you guys how easy they are. And then I'm just peeling. I call this tearing tape. A lot of people call it tearing tape. It's double-sided tape. I'm using the 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, I'm sorry. You can use 1/4 inch. That's what the foam tape is. And foam tape looks like this, guys. In case you haven't seen it, it's really thick. It's foam, sticky on both sides. And then I want to make sure that my card is opening the correct way. And do this whichever way you want your card to open. That's the way you need to have it sitting. And I want mine to open from the bottom up. And then you're just going to line up your top piece. Oops, I'm a little bit off with that foam there. I'll fix it here in a minute. I'm just going to shove that back in there. And then you're just going to place that on top. Super, super easy. And then for my tag, this is a print and cut tag that I placed in there. I am just going to put a piece of double-sided tape on that edge. Tore that a little too long. And pull that off. And that's because that's going to hang over that window. So I put a little piece on that end. And then I'm putting a little glue on this side because it's going to go on the cardstock. Place it where you want. And you're done. This card takes about maybe 2 minutes to cut. So you can do this card in less than 5 minutes, guys. Hi, Sheila. So super, super easy card. And then if you want, I inked the edges of mine. I didn't show that in the photo because I forgot to do it and took my photo. But I did ink the edges. So all you're going to do if you want to ink the edges is get your ink and your dauber. And this is a Studio G. I don't know what color it is. It doesn't tell me. It was in a pack. And I just pat it on there and then dab some of the color off. And then with my card folded, I just go over the edge. And you can do this as light or as dark as you want. Just dab off more ink. And you can do this before you put it together as well. This is what I did last time and I just forgot to ink it before I put it together, but that's okay. And just ink all the edges. And that just gives it a little bit of a different look. So very easy to ink the edges of your cards. I'm going to stand that up in there so I don't get ink all over everything. Super easy. And you're going to be surprised how easy this box is too. It's super, super easy. So you've got your base. And I have a place that didn't snip. Might have to adjust that score line, that cut line right there. It may be this cardstock. Maybe not. That's what it is. I probably should have cut it at a deeper cut. Okay, so you've got your score lines and you're just going to mount and fold everything. Just like with all the other boxes. And you've got one tail that's a little bit longer there. And there's a reason, you'll see. And then you've got all these diagonal folds. And you're just going to mount and fold all of those. And they don't have to be a crisp, hard fold, guys. For this box, unless you want if you're using something heavy like this, just a good small fold in it. I wouldn't use my bone folder on it. You don't want it to be floppy. I did one out of cardstock, and it was okay, but I prefer the heavier. This is 110. And then you have that last one right there. Now, there is a score on this tab. Don't fold that. So if you're seeing that score line, that straight score line on that tab, do not fold it. There's a reason. That's going to be the back seam of your box. And if you fold that tab, it's going to be folded in the wrong place. It's just a guide for you to line this up to create your triangle. And that's all it's for. So then you're going to keep your glue on the inside of the score. I'm going to pop these back up out of my way. It won't hurt anything to fold them back the other way. And then I'm just going to line this up at the top and stay right at that score line. And if you're using the stiff, it may be a little hard to get in there, but you can. And we're going to fold that tab after it dries. But you can just kind of curl the corner of it a little bit. As you can see on the inside here, that's where it goes. The fold is going to go just on the curve, or just on the small corner of it, and that's it. And the way that I did that is I'm hoping that you guys can see this. I went inside with my finger or your bone folder, whatever you want, and you're going to score mark right in line with your triangle on that tab to get it to relax. That's all you need to do. Once you've got it stuck pretty well, that's it. And that's going to give it that little bit of a fold, because it ends up right here, and that's the only part that touches this. And I didn't want to score that because, first of all, it would probably be off. And if your paper, different sizes of paper, different thicknesses, if you're using cardstock, it would be off if I set it for that and you used 110. And if I set it for 110 and you used 80 pound, it would be off because the thickness would matter. Then you're going to take your two short sides. Take one of them, doesn't matter which one, whichever way you want to go with yours, and run a bead of glue just on that edge. And then the opposite edge, run inside just a small bead of glue. And then you're going to kind of line those up. You don't have to wait on those to dry. Put some glue on this tab and fold it in. And then glue this tab. Fold it over. Keep it square. Make sure the bottom is square. And then take it inside and press it down. And that's just weird to me. You see how this one met? And then this one didn't. Maybe I didn't push it in far enough. I had that happen twice. I'm just going to pull it closer to the edge. It should meet the edge. I don't know why this one isn't. This one did. So I'm not going to adjust the file. It's probably me. I just rolled out of bed, literally, an hour before I came on. So that's the box. And then you can ink the edges. I don't know, guys. I'm going to ink the edges. I'm going to save playing with that gold flake for another card. And I probably still have enough ink on here because I just want to do it lightly. And I'm just going to go on each one of these triangular edges on my scores, just to give it that added dimension. And you see I haven't dabbed that dauber again. I've just continued to use it from my card. And then I'm not going to ink the top edges, but if you want to, you certainly can. Whatever you like. And let's go ahead and get our flower ready so it has time to dry. And I'm using the quilling tool that's in the flower kit from Cricut. If I can get it to cooperate with me, because this is thick cardstock. There it goes. So I'm just going to start on the outer edge of this flower, and I'm just going to start rolling. I'm not just kind of what I call finger tight. I'm not doing it tight, doesn't need to be. And I'm just going to keep rolling until I get to the inside. And you can ink yours prior. That's totally up to you. I inked mine after so that I could see where I wanted the ink and how heavy I wanted it. I tend to get too heavy if I go. And then because I was just too lazy to heat up hot glue, I just put some art glitter glue on my tab. And then as it set for a little bit, just to get tacky, I loosened up my flower. to get that glue everywhere. Just want it to loosen up. And then I just pushed this piece down and I held it until it stuck. And then I just set it to the side to get a little drying time on it. And then the lid while that's drying. So you're going to fold on all your scores, again, all mountain. And then you have scores on that are diagonal on each of those tabs. Is everyone having a good Mother's Day so far? Hey Kathy, hi Karen. Yeah, those quilling tools are pretty good, but you can also pick them up at your local craft store, Sue. I have 2 or 3. I have another one. I have a teeny tiny one that I used for years for smaller flowers that I use. I think I gave like $0.25 for it. I do the same thing, Sue. As a matter of fact, I did it yesterday. So now you've got that folded, and all you're going to do is on one of the triangles, you're going to come in and put glue on it, and you're going to make that other triangle just meet the edge right there. And I just did the left tab on each one of mine. Doesn't matter. Either way you want to do it. I put glue on the left tab and put the right tab over. But I don't think it matters. And I did not share this box with the public at all, except one person, who is the person who asked me to make the file. I had it in my list, but it was like 30 projects down. And I just bumped it up because she needed it. So this is exclusive to you guys except for one person. Oops, my tab slid. Make sure you keep those in place, guys. And then we're going to, again, I'm going to ink the edges of those. And I just went, and I did not ink the top of that other one, but I think I am on this one, the top edge. I think it's because I just forgot. Just a little added depth. And then I did on my scallop, I did put it down and put a good amount of ink on the edges of that. And on my circle. Just makes it pop up a little bit better so that you can see it. And you can change this up, guys. Put anything you want on it, any theme. You can do tons of stuff. And before I put that on, I'm going to ink those edges of this flower. And all I did was go in and just dab. And I started outside. Not a lot. And then I came to the inside. And you can see how I'm holding it. And I just kept dabbing and kind of brushing away. And then dab right down in the center. And that was it. That's all I did to it. And I stuck it down. And I did put leaves in your file. I did not use those leaves because it was an afterthought. And I had already cut everything, so I just used my punch. If you have one of these EK punches or Stampin' Up! Punches, any kind of punch for a leaf, you can punch a leaf instead of putting it in your Cricut just to cut those two little pieces. That was my thing. I wasn't going to go and set up a mat and paper and all that to punch two little pieces when I had a scrap piece of paper. And then just figure out where you want them on. Your flower. And I tried to put mine over the edge of the end petal just so that it looks finished. If you guys can see that. That's where the flower stopped, and I just kind of pinched it in there between. And let's see. Just pop it right on top there. And I did use Nuvo drops on there. You can do that if you want. Guys, that's it. That's all there is to it. Where's the back of my box? The back of your box is where your seam is at. And it is a kind of a snug lid, but it should be. You don't want it falling off. That's it. You can see all the lines line up. And then if you want to do your Nuvo drops, of course, you can do those. I used the Dream Drops Love Potion. And I wanted to show you guys something about these drops that I hadn't showed you before while we're here. Because if I don't, I'll forget. And you can see what they look like when you use them on your projects. Pretty cool. And I'll go back and I'll dot these. And that was all I did, guys, just so you can see, is I just went and put a small dot on each of those scallops, skipping the ones that, of course, are covered by my leaves. And if it landed in the center, I just did like a half dot so it looked like it was over it. It won't take long. I'll just go ahead and do these. But I just put some small dots just to give it some dimension. And I also put some on the card. So you want to let those dry. You're going to love these drops when I show you. But you can just line out these cards on your print and cut, or put some drops or glitter or whatever you have to embellish up your card. That was all I did. But I'm fixing to show you something really cool about these drops. And you can get these at scrapbook.com or Tonic. I have the links just down below in the description. You can use these drops, and you see this is pink. You can see that it's pink on this card. And you can use them in different ways because you can smear them and give them texture and stuff. And you see that that one doesn't do much. They're iridescent and they're pretty. But watch this. It went from pink to purple. Look at that. This is the pink, the Love Potion. And I'm just going to put a dot there so you can see the difference. How cool is that? Let me show you. They come in 6 colors. And they don't do that on the white like they do on the dark cardstocks. But they're really, really awesome. This one is the Dragon Scales. And it's kind of green. Well, it is green. You can see it there. And if I rub it, it just kind of gives it an iridescent gold shine. But when I rub it on black or a dark, They're awesome. They go almost the opposite color of what they are. This one is the Indigo Eclipse, which is a light purple. And look at it. It turns pink, almost red. Aren't those cool? You can, like I said, you can use them for drops, but you can use them as textures and stuff too on your darker cardstocks and get different colors from them. And that's the gold. And it kind of stays to me kind of a yellowy, or it actually does go a little bit green. Let me get another piece here. This one is the Fairy Wings, and it's like a really lavender or a pinky lavender. It's kind of has a pink hue on white, but it gets really dark pink when you rub it. And the last one is Cloud 9. And this one is white. It's white on white, or like a pearlescent. Well, they're all iridescent. All of them are. And it also goes. It's a different tone of pink. It's close to the other. But you can see how they do. So you could actually get the white and get it to turn to that pink tone on both. So guys, if you haven't tried Nuvo drops or anything, that's the new one. The Dream drops and the Stone drops are new, and the Stone drops you can get the texture with. They're kind of a gritty, more masculine type drop is what I call it. So tons of things that you can do with these mixed media and do things to your cards, your embellishments, your, I mean, this would be really cute smeared with them. So, tons of things that you guys can do. So, check those out. Does anybody have any Design Space questions? I'm going to set those over to dry so I don't mess myself up here. Everybody good with all your projects and everything? Monday we will be doing, I don't know that I'm going to do a project. I might do a quick small project or either show some techniques like similar to what I did with the Dream Drops there. Maybe with the gilding flakes from Nuvo so you guys can see how to use those. Especially if you are one of the people who ordered Tonic craft kits, because we all just got craft kit 21 and 22 just came out. Well, the unboxing just came out. We'll get it the first of next month. It's available. But I am going to cover how to make dimensional envelopes on Monday, how to slice and weld and put shapes together to create other images so that you guys can see that. And there was one other thing. So we're going to cover a lot of Design Space things. Some of you probably already know how to do. Some of you may have forgotten how to do. So we're just going to go over and cover a lot of that. And if I have time, I will do a small project and show you guys a tutorial on that. But we're mainly going to be focusing Monday on Design Space. Oh, cool, Karen. So, yeah, there are a lot of things that you can do with those drops. Lots of things. You can, like I said, just on the boxes, just as drops, and they'll remain that color. But if you use them on darker cardstocks and smear them, they change color. Yeah, they just came out, I think, in April. Wait a minute. this maybe March. I think the Dream Drops came out in March, and the Stone Drops came out in April. I think that's the way it was. But both of them are new 2019 products. So yeah, so I figured that it would help because I get a lot of instant messages. Do I have an envelope? Do I have an envelope? And I don't put envelopes in a lot of my card um, files. And the reason is because I want my card files to be changeable so that if you want to add dimension and you want to do this or you want depth added to it, you can and you're not stuck with it. Because if you do that, you're going to have to go get an envelope anyway because the envelope I put in there probably isn't going to work. So it just saves time because there are so many envelope templates in Design Space that, you know, it really it's just really a waste of time because you don't know how anybody's going to embellish that card. And I myself, I go and get my envelope after I have put my card together. I cut my envelope separate because I don't know how I'm going to embellish it and what kind of envelope I'm going to need. So that's why I don't put them in my files because they're just abundant in Design Space. But when we get those cards where we have a half inch or quarter inch that we need up to even an inch in depth, I'm going to show you guys how you can make those so that you can just snap one out in just a minute, or you can go and set some up. As a matter of fact, I think I have some already set up for patrons, but I get a lot of questions from everybody else on how to do that. So I want to show everybody how you can make your own custom envelope to fit any card that you have and any way that you've decorated it. So that's going to take a little bit of time on Monday. So that's why I'm opting not to do a project and maybe showing a technique using the flakes and maybe the mousse, the Nouveau mousse, because that can do a lot too. And that will help bump your cards up to that next level. A lot of you are moving up and learning a lot, and I can see the difference in your card making from when you started and what you're doing now. And you guys are just progressing so fast, so I figured I would start using some of the mixed media so that you can keep growing with your card making and stuff. So I want everybody to have a happy Mother's Day. I'll see you on Monday, and I am going to try to do a live. I'm not promising. I'm going to try to do a live on Wednesday, just unscheduled with a project, because I didn't do one this last Monday because of life. I took my short little vacay, and we are not going to be doing one on Memorial Day because everybody's going to be out doing summer fun stuff. So I think this coming Monday I will do this live, and then I think I will pop in a couple of unscheduled Wednesdays because we have so much going this month with holidays. So that being said, I will post in the group for you guys, and I will send out a Patron message with the link to any lives that I schedule so that you will be aware that they're coming, because like I said, they're not going to be on normal days. You guys have a happy Mother's Day. If you're not mommies and you have fur babies, happy Fur Mommy Day. All of that kind of stuff. And I will see you guys in the groups and see you on Monday. Thank you guys for coming. We'll see you guys Monday.